on the night of Kabza and Maphorisa, literally, BAC did catch fire. There was a naked cable and then fire. They were actually threw sand to try and stop the fire. And then it tripped the entire ZESA. The term rocking guy came from this friend of mine from SA. It was before a night, and then he came and then he saw the setup, and then that's when, you know, everybody was drunk, was making noise, and he's like, no. He's like, I'm with the rocking guy. That's the rocking guy. And then, you know, that's how it started. The whole night everyone was calling me the rocking guy, the rocking guy. And then I thought, you know what, it's a cool name to use, especially if you want to keep the city rocking. Yeah. That's how it came about. Horizon. Yeah, my name is Mduduzi Mdlongwa, founder of 3DEvents / Hustle Chisanyama, father of 3. That's basically it. Yeah, I think it's the passion, and also to just want to see people happy and to do something in the city. It has always been that part, and following your gut. That's how I've been. I didn't go to school to learn events. I did work at a hotel environment, but the event side, I think it was just the passion and the excitement and wanting to do something in the city. That was how it came about, yeah. The artist not coming into the country. Yeah, that's the biggest one, because that's the project that you'd have promised the people of Bulawayo. Then the next thing, you find that the artist has missed the flights, and you have to communicate somehow and convey the message sincerely. And then, yeah, that's the hardest, actually. You'd want me to give you an example of the event? I'm sure most people are aware of Black Coffee when it didn't show up. I think it was sometime in 2012, I'm not so sure, yeah. He had missed his flight, so we thought somehow they're gonna make it. So we prolonged the announcement to cancel the event. We kept it going because we're trying all means to try and bring him into the country. He was in Bloemfontein. For some reason, the aircraft couldn't lift off. We tried to have a way of him getting to Joburg, to reschedule another flight and all that stuff, but it was to no avail. 5 p.m. we had to cancel the show. 5 p.m. we had to cancel the show, and people had already bought pre-tickets and advanced tickets, and it was something else. But I like what people of Bulawayo did. They saw this was not entirely our fault, and the other promoters united to encourage people to come through to just have a nice party. And it did eventually, though it was a big loss, but people came and, you know, we had a good time. It was a nice atmosphere. First thing, you feel like your stomach is turning, you know. Yeah, that's one. You can't even speak. You're out of breath because it's just got too much pressure, and you feel like, yeah, how am I going to even get through the night? Because it's hard, I don't want to lie. You'd have taken money that's not even yours and invested it in that event, and that person is waiting for the interest in that money. And now, yes, the artist is entirely on you as a promoter, and for him not showing up, it's entirely on you. You have to see to it that you redeem yourself somehow, even to the investors. You have to find a way of how you pay them back, and how you also get your credibility back in the market. We had to reschedule, and he came later in the year, like Black Coffee. He was meant to come in December, then ended up hosting in May. But, well, the damage had already been done. The event didn't have a turnout that we expected, unlike in December. And we had to reduce the price, unlike in December. But we tried, you know, you just, sometimes you'll be doing it for your name, and then also you're trying to recover the little that you've lost. What bores me is working with people who are not self-motivated, working with people who are not so creative in whatever field that that they'll be working on. Be it that it's a designer, be it that it's someone who does the setup, be it that it's someone who does the sound. That literally bores me. I like to see people with energy. Whenever we're doing something, I like to see energy because I also feed off that. So that totally bores me. I think it's basically where we are in Zim in general. You know, it doesn't give you the drive anymore that you desire as someone who would want to exceed in events. It's the environment in general. It fails to challenge you anymore. There's nothing new out there for you to actually acquire or to want to achieve, because it's the setup that is there. It's just not permissible for people to grow and be bigger than what they've already achieved. One of the successful things I've done, I think, is having an events company that's recognizable. It has had wins and losses along the way, but for all it's worth, I think it has become relevant in our city, which is one thing that I think is the successful part. And then partnering, the best partnership that we've ever incurred that worked for us was the friends I've had. They've always stood up and said they will support, and they'll bring especially the monetary side to say, "Do we believe in what you do? There's the money for you to do X event if that's what you want to do." That's been the best partnership that I've ever had. And also, to measure the success is the happy people. Like I've always used that term, excited people as they leave at 4 in the morning, crossing through town, going home, having had the time of their life. That's how I would measure the success. And I've seen that happening, and it has brought joy in my heart, yeah. I think maybe I'm a club promoter, or I'm a shop businessman. Anything that would bring business at a specific time, I can promote it. Be it that it's a poet, I've done poets at Horizon, be it that it's a band, or be it that it's a DJ, you know. Even if it's a comedian, I've worked with Ontando, you know, in certain projects. I would push as long as it's in the umbrella of entertainment, and also that it will bring monetary gain at the end of the night. It starts from from conceptualizing, right? Which is more of what I say is when you are dreaming. I would like to do Black Coffee or Black Diamond, like we booked them last year. You're conceptualizing. It's a dream, you know? And then it becomes reality if it's stuck in your bones and you're like, I would really want to do this. And then now you bring your team together, you sit down, and then you do the budget. You have to do the budget to know how much the artist will cost, the clearances, the stage, the sound, the venue, and then you come up with a concept for the event. And then having done that, having done the budget, obviously you still have enough time. You are doing the design at the same time, you're approaching sponsors, and then you're also looking into doing the applications, because you have to apply to ZIMRA, National Arts Council, Censorship Board, and Immigration. So you have to file those papers before you can actually bring the event to the public. So having done having sat with your team, having done the budget, approve the budget, because you have to have your breaking point, your break even. So now you have your break even. You know that if we do this event, we need 500 people. Can we really get 500 people from Bulawayo? Yeah, we can get 500 people, but we're expecting 1,005. So the 1,000 becomes your profit from the gate before you look at the beer sales and the food. So now you approve your event and you say, okay, our event is good. I think it's solid. And then you get your designer to start working on the design. And then you get the admin to start doing the applications to National Arts Council, Immigration, ZIMRA, Censorship Board, etc. Then in the meantime, you're also looking into the venue. how you're going to secure the perimeters, the police. You start to do all these applications. Once you have brought all these people together, that's when you can launch your event. Now it goes on to the social media and posters, flyers, and everything else. But you've already done the groundwork prior to that. So that's how it comes to being. So then there's the execution, which is where most people fail. Because it doesn't end when you tell people that you are bringing in an artist. And even if you do the marketing side, which is very extensive, where you go all out, you're advertising, you get really exhausted. But the work doesn't end there. The final push is when you are now bringing everything together. Now you're bringing in the police. Now you've got the artists flying in. You've already done the clearances. You're at immigration submitting the papers, which is the temporary work permit. You're bringing in the artist and the setup, the stage, the sound, the technical writer. The artist is happy. The barricades, everything is solid. The VIP is set. The drinks are set. They're chilled. You've got your refrigerator truck for your beers. Everything. It's just bringing everything together now. Until people queue up, pay by the gate, they get in. And it also doesn't end there. Now it's driving the event and making sure that people are well entertained. You selected the right DJs. You know the right genre to be played at a specific time. You know the strength of a DJ. You know which MC to use and until 4 in the morning. So that's basically how you bring the whole event together. What happens with when you're bringing in the international artists, right? It's mandatory that you get local artists. They would want to see the contracts. So what then we ended up doing, because of the sensitivity of the events, where you bring DJs or artists that you've never fully worked with and you don't know their character, because the character is very important. You can have an event destroyed or having bottles thrown on stage because of a mistake of a DJ or an artist. It has happened before. So that's why I ended up setting up a stable, which is 3DEvents, where it has its DJs. I know their strengths, I know their weaknesses. They've seen our highs and lows. They know what to do and what not to do. You will have a situation whereby you hire a DJ because you also want to support and stretch out your hand to everybody else to say, okay, now you know what? There's your favorite house DJ. Like we're bringing in Da Capo. So all the house heads will step up and want to be there. Da Capo is coming fine. You know, you've got this boy who stays in Kalini who's been playing, he loves Da Capo. He says, do give me a chance. But he's never been in a position where he can stand in front of 3,000, 4,000 people and they are chanting. There are different souls there and different characters. Anything can happen. And then he goes in there. Right now, we are coming off from a Zimdanso slot. And now the hype or the tempo is right up there. And then this one, because Yena is a serious househead, because there's the couple who's coming in. He decides, I'm also going to go deep. You understand? He's not a couple, and it's his first time. And his plan is set from home, and he thinks this is what I'm going to do. He gets in there just from where people are. And then you go in with your deep house. And then there's just like this booing. And everyone is just not impressed with what's going on stage. But if you are an experienced DJ, you quickly pick up, because even if I tell you, my guy, quickly switch and let's move up. Because you know what I expect. You quickly just change and then you pick up. But some will think, you know what, I'm going to do my thing. If bottle starts flying on stage, it means the show is done. Because definitely when they throw bottles on stage, the thieves which are amongst the people will accelerate the throwing so that people will be in disarray and they can just start searching them. And the show is done. You see now. So you pick the people that you know and they'll do the slots and follow them. Even if they realize that things are not well balanced, they now have experience and we've worked with them for so long. I don't need to go up on the stage and say, my guy, you realize right now we need to put, old school house, or let's do quiet, or let's do Zimdanso. They can read quickly and follow, so that you have to create an atmosphere that people are kept on their feet and there is no glitch, Because the moment you start to having issues on stage, a lot can go wrong with the crowd. So the way I pick the DJs, I pick them through experience. I pick them with the number of times we've worked together on stage. Because through that, I've also learned stuff when I'm on stage. And I can give an example with the last event that the last time we hosted Black Motion, there was an issue with the delay of the artist coming on stage. And then it was after Zimdanso, it had dragged. And people now wanted Black Motion. They didn't want anything else. And we then put Crazy D, because the Black Motion, they were still preparing to come on stage. When Crazy D went on stage, and Crazy D doesn't have a commercial sound, she went deep. She's my DJ. But I knew that Crazy D wasn't the right time to put her on stage. But Zimdanso had pushed, boss. It had gone for so long. And I could see the crowd is now getting a bit agitated and annoyed. They now want the artist. It's high time that the artist should get in. And the time that we sent for the artist, when the artists were meant to come in, we were sending a car to go pick them up at the hotel. We get there, we find these guys are sleeping. And they start bathing. And Zimdanso is still playing. And they change, they take their time. For them to come to the stage, it was a nightmare. Hartsfield was super packed. And for them to literally find their way to the stage, when they get to the stage, now they are trying to prepare. Think of the time that we've wasted. And we feel right now the artist should go on stage. The moment we put Crazy D, she plays the first song, bottles came. Crazy Black got hurt, one of my DJs. Bottles came flying on stage because we've missed it. And we knew we've missed it. And then the police now, they came with their dogs, which accelerated everything. Now people were all over. Some were throwing stones at the stage and stuff like that. But now, one of the mature senior MCs, he was like, Mdu, grab the mic, talk to your people. You get it. At that point, that's when I learned something. When things go east, you have to stand up for your stuff, my guy. Pull up the mic, talk to your people, calm them down, bring them back to the party. And if you want to finish the gig, Black Motion was scared. Somewhere in the grass there, they didn't even want to come back on stage. And then Joe, the OG, picked up the mic. He said one word, and he brought people back. And the guys did perform. So those are the things you'd learn. You see, now, I know that for emergencies, I have a guy like Joe, the OG, is always on standby. Crazy Black becomes small when it comes to controlling such maybe such a mess. It now needs someone that would understand what needs to be done and said at that point in time. So you pick people because of that. I know the strengths of the DJs that belong to the stable. I give them what I know they would execute very well. I will not swing and give them something that I know they might struggle. And you want your things to just be flat because you're scared of anything going wrong. Because there's a lot at stake. If equipment is destroyed on stage because of someone who decided to be experimentative, and you see, now you are the one who's at fault. And then also, you pick people that you know because you tell them what to do. These are the people, these are the DJs that you might invite because they get the spotlight. You'd have told them, my guy, you're just playing commercial house. Just because you get this over-excitement. Next thing is branching off to Zimdanso. He's taking all the good songs from Zimdanso. He comes back, he takes the good songs from hip-hop. And then now, he's messed up the slots. But he doesn't care because he wanted that moment to shine. And now for the next DJ to come on stage, what is he going to do? So you now work with such characters. You work with people that you know. When you're booking an artist, even the local ones now who have made it in the game, they send you a contract with a hospitality rider. And the hospitality rider is very clear. It states they want executive room, this type of drinks. So the whole thing is just laid out clean. And the protection of the artist is on you. So you have to make sure that you've got enough the bouncers that will protect the artist, and also the technical writer, the expectations are met. They'll do the sound check, and then if you need to fix anything, we've got enough time to sort it out if they are not happy with the equipment that you've got. So the contract is the guideline. It's very simple and straightforward. They've got the hospitality right, so you follow to the T. You're not found wanting. If they want anything extra, you just revert back to the contract and say, you guys didn't say this, so then I'm just following what is on the contract. I do that a lot because, well, I have my own DJs that belong to the stable, but my stable is not closed to any, it's not a closed stable. But I wouldn't want someone to want to come and start playing when I'm hosting an international act or it's a big event. Like I would say, like I said before, big shows are very sensitive. There's a lot of character and skill that goes with it. You don't want to try new things. You would want things which have been tried and tested because you are on the spotlight. So if anyone would want to be called, they have to call themselves early, to come and say, can we work together? We start small together so that we can do big things together. There is nothing wrong with that. But you can't expect from nowhere, I don't even know you, and you are quarreling at a corner and you want to come and play at a very big event. That doesn't work. For starters, there are rules that have to be followed in a team. You have to know the rules. You have to know what is expected. You have to know the times. You have to understand everything about the event. And I need to know you so that I can trust you with the people of Bulawayo. If I don't know you, I've had people who come very drunk, dead drunk. When you had asked them that they should come and perform at 7, you hear that they're making a scene at the gate. They've got 15 people. You gave him 5 takes for him to come with his people, and his performance is at 7. But he's causing a scene at the gate. He's got 15 people. He's coming with 2 combis. He says he's performing, and he's on the poster. And you did put him on the poster. True. I'm on the poster. I'm performing here. You can't tell me what to do. Open the gate. And the guys are like, hey, my guy, can we see your tags? Hey, I don't need the tags. I'm a performer. And he's drunk. He was at Smokehouse having a good time. Now he wants to come and perform. And it's 8. And your slot was at 7. You see, this is what I'm talking about. DJs, they do the same. I would respect a DJ who would wait. Even if he realizes Mdu had booked my slot at 7, he plays at 7 even if there's no one. Than a person who feels, there's no one, so let me go. I'll come back when there are people, then I can then start DJing. But at the same time, I don't even know you, my guy. I don't know your strengths really. I don't know your breaking point. I don't know whether you would manage how is your set in general. I don't know it. So anyone who would want to make it big, they need to start making their way to any promoter, not even me, earlier. Get to know the person. Play even in their clubs before they can invite you to play when they are hosting big acts. It will be easier for everyone, you'll see. Yeah. Liz came in with someone, she was from university in South Africa, but she had a good ear for music and she loved music. And then I noticed that there was no female DJ who was really a solid brand in Bulawayo. And then we wanted to have our own in our team. And we took it through Ingo Studios to learn the DJing side of things. And the beauty of life is that she already had a music thing, which was easy because that's where it starts. It's easy to nurture someone's interest, passion, just like you, VJ, you know the hip hop, the feel. You can tell that is where you zone in and you flow. And all we will do is to open doors for that and give you that space for you to express that part and enjoy it. That's exactly what we did with DJ Liz. But only what made it work for her is that she was a female. And yes, we would give her prime time, but she will understand the pressure and she will fight to deliver. And it worked, and she went on to become the first female #1 teacher in Bulawayo. But that's how it was. We nurtured the interest. I followed the passion, and we opened the doors only and said, this is where you want to be, do it. I've worked with promoters doing far better than what I've achieved, and I've learned a few things. And I'm that type of person, when I see something good, I want to attach myself to it and suck everything I can get out of that and learn and move on. And I've seen also promoters struggling, and we've come in and we've tried to rescue through our experience anyhow that we could assist. And the stories we tell, if you were to sit with anyone from the event side, they've got so many stories. The stories, they start from noon to night. I only sit with Omega. Most probably some people don't know him. But Omega used to run in Windermere. He was an MP. I don't know if he's still an MP now. But I sit with him. I enjoy his stories. I will give an example that he once told me a story when he was at Windermere. And he had organized a show with the Soul Brothers. And then when the hype was crazy in the city, Soul Brothers had landed, and he could see that today's going to be a great night. He says, I'm doing that in driver, heading towards the Windermere. I saw a dark cloud mounting from a distance, and someone had told him, and they said something else along it. It's too sensitive. And then he was like, would that person be serious? No way. That cloud came hard. You see some, like his stomach turned. I've heard that before. When someone says that to me, it's like I can closely relate, where you fear the weather pattern and you can see that the rain is coming, the equipment is there, the hype is in the city, and it's too early for the rain, for it to mess up the event. And he told me that it mounted hard and the rain fell hard. Izipika zathwalwa zidlula begqamuza phezu kwepool into i-storeroom. Abafana besithi abasakhuphi equipment yabo, it has been damaged. He saw his money going down the drain. I've been in that position before, You can relate and think, yeah, I remember, and such stories, they encourage you, because now he tells you that, and then he's like, but you know what? The rain stopped. When the rain stopped, and then I noticed, I'd rather get what I get. I went, then it was hard, I guess, it's cutting up. I'm fucking doing. And then surprisingly, I think when the hype is strong, if people have made up their mind, they'll wait for the rain to stop, and then they'll come out. He says, hey man, I need to have my suitcase, so you fall apart with trunk, so you marry. So, what in a 3 days, but these are the stories of promoters. You sit with Ubamong in the Skonja, he will tell you a whole lot of stories, And through that, that's how you learn and encourage each other, and you pick a few things, and you think, so Lapana, when I went through this, it's happened. Because I've been in that position before, where it was 10 p.m. and there was no one at the gate. This was Black Coffee at Hartsfield. 10 p.m. I went into my car, ngalala sibili. Ezinye zacho was warm as a so, and my stomach was just rumbling inside, and I was thinking, all that money. And then you're thinking now, maybe I didn't advertise enough. Maybe people are not convinced enough. What happened? But don't play coffee. Out of all these artists, like this big one, like really. And then you'll be questioning a lot of things. And then you walk outside, you pick one person, and you're thinking, why ask me that kind of question? You think I don't even know what's going on here. Yeah, so that's the thing. Other promoters will encourage you in that way. Through their stories, you feel encouraged. Once you talk to them, you understand. You go through such. I think your integrity is very solid, especially locally. when you promise a specific organization that we're going to do this, I mean, do it to the T. Don't shortchange, especially the corporate world, or even individuals. Rather, you under promise and then over deliver. Other than trying to, you lie to them and then you actually even under deliver even worse. That is how you lose clientele. Usually we always give little to what we say, and then we try and do more so that we retain them. And then outside, I think if you keep a clean track record of payments, they'll keep you on their database. I'll give two. The one that I didn't know what to do was when people started throwing. It was my first time ever experiencing people throwing bottles at the stage. I think I'd already spoken about it, but when we hosted Black Motion at Hartsfield for the second time, I was very exhausted at that moment. My brain was drained generally from the entire setup and the event and the whole night. And when that happened, I didn't know what to do. You know, I saw police, sending dogs on people. I saw girls. I actually saw the VIP who had put this Harris fence. I literally saw people pulling it off and tearing it like as if it was paper. And I saw people were having champagne and VIP screaming, running. I was lost. I lost my words totally. I didn't know which direction to take. I was just seeing events unfold. And having seen one of my DJs being hurt, being carried off stage, being taken to the hospital, it was my first experience. I didn't know. And that night never came right, even if they did perform, but it left a huge dent, you know. A lot of people got hurt, and a lot of people lost property, phones, cameras. They lost all those things because the thieves also saw an opportunity to engage, and they made sure that they did engage and stole as much as they did. And then the other one, because of that experience, I thought mine was the worst, but it followed another one that I saw where we were assisting in running a bar. It was a seat hall. There was an artist who was supposed to come from Jamaica. Busy signal. I think the sound was a problem. Those guys really, they delayed their event. It started after 9. The sound was a problem. When Winky T was performing, the sound kept switching left, right, until Winky T kept saying, engineer. He ended up being fed up, and then he threw the mic. When he threw the mic, bottles came flying. And I was like, phase 2 of bottles flying. And I was thinking, but that one was more hectic than mine. And I saw actually that can end the event. It did end the event. In the morning, it was like there was a carpet of broken bottles on that tar. It was bad. I think the bottles flew for a good 30 minutes, non-stop, on stage. And everyone deserted. They even went for those people, these ones who come to pry Russians and stuff. They took everything of theirs. I saw the umbrella of one flying in the air. The car they failed to tilt, the car that they were using to sell tickets, and the event ended. So there was no comeback to that. And then the last one was when we hosted Kabza and Maphorisa, when BAC caught fire. I don't think people know that. But on the night of Kabza and Maphorisa, literally BAC did catch fire. There was a naked cable and then fire. They were actually threw sand to try and stop the fire. And then it tripped the entire Zesa. And I was actually trapped where I was. I couldn't move because we underestimated the number of people people had created a wall, like a pyramid, like you couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. I was losing breath. I would try and climb on top of a speaker to just try and gasp for air. I'm close to Maphorisa and Kabza. Maphorisa is smoking his weed, and I'm inhaling it. I'm sure that night I was also high because I couldn't move. I couldn't move. And when power went, I thought people would literally tear everything down because the entire setup that we had done, people they threw it off out of the window. There was nothing anymore. People were actually very close to Maphorisa, like they can actually shake his hand, which is something that we would rarely do. But it was that much of a mess. Sound went good. So now they were forced to connect a generator. So I had the generator powering up. That was like after 10 minutes. And imagine, I was fearing for my life because I knew it at that point, because everything was off at BAC at that time. And now I'm thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen next? How are we going to bounce back from this? But luckily, for some reason, the generator worked and we managed to just, pull through the night. And then the following day, that's when I was seeing the damage. I don't even know how it happened, honestly, for that place to catch fire. You just ask yourself, out of all days, this on that night, but it had happened anyway. We never did. We managed to get through the night, but to say it was the best night. Oh yeah, there's one that actually became the best night. When we did DJ Zinhle at Horizon. When we were going to pick up Zinhle at the airport, it rained hard. We had done a specific setup. We had put some banners and we had put it behind the pool, barricades and everything. It rained. So when it rained at that time, because we're still young, we didn't understand. But at that time we feared because the rain came hard and it was windy. So the guys, we had hired the guys from Ingwe to do the sound for us. So when it rained, we were actually picking up Zinhle. We wanted her to pass through and do the sound checkup, and she goes to the hotel. The guys switched off their PA system. They pulled everything, cables, stage, everything. They had removed, and the rain came in. Then it swept, and then it blew even the trusses that we had mounted and everything else. It was on the floor, and the guys refused to put back the same setup. And we told them that, well, you guys want to put up the setup, we've never done it before. And this would inconvenience because it means we're now looking at one side and we can't accommodate the other side. And the guys refused. And when we went in there, we left Zinhle in the car. We went upstairs. It was a mess. It was mud, it was water, and it was just looking sad. And I didn't even know who to talk to. I ended up having to ask Jomo to come and talk to the guys to assist. And then Jomo reasoned with them. He had more experience. He said, just put back the way things were and let's see, because I don't think the rain is coming. My guy, that was one of the best nights. People came and the show was sold out. Yeah, that one was a good night. At the end, when we woke up in the morning, we were laughing about it. But the other ones that I gave an example will never bounce back. The advice I'll give to a DJ is that get busy. You understand? Get busy, align yourself with the people that you see that they can phase out your dream. Don't DJ and stay in the house or be comfortable in your neighborhood. Go out, ask for slots, even if you're not getting paid. But as long as you can see that this person is a connection to where you want to go next, that will help you. Because most people don't understand that the promoters will not go shopping for DJs. They are business people. They only work with what will give them money. But it's on you to avail yourself to the promoter to say, hey, Mdu, I'm here. I want to do this, And even if he doesn't give you the answers you desire at that time, keep pushing, because it's your dream that you are trying to phase out. Unlike when you just think you can give up. And for an artist, I don't really have a strength in the music side, but I think you need to have a good marketing team that will put your music out there for people to know about it. You can't do music and just send to a few of your friends and you think it will work, you need a very good marketing team and a good manager. And to promoters, I think we need to learn to work together. We're all in it together anyway. Especially when you have done as many events as we have, you'd love to work with other promoters. So I think they need to squash the issue of ego, to think that credibility is everything, credit. I think it's nicer to bring an event together and you look at each other and you shake hands and say, we did it. So promoters need to work together. They need to come together and do events collectively. It's more fun that way. It was a shock. I actually thought that it wasn't true, you know. I actually thought that it's one of these hoax messages that people have been circulating and stuff like that. And when reality did strike, I was devastated like everybody else. I was like, Kelvin, really? He's gone. But he had such great talent. He had such great talent with Kelvin. In a way, I didn't find balance with him was his character. But talent was there. But his character is where I didn't find the balance. But we still did work together. The first time that we pulled in Kelvin, I think you were still part of Phir at that time. We had heard his music. And, you know, he came very humble. And he asked Wuti, can we sample his music? I asked him to give it to a specific DJ. And we were listening to the music. I actually thought it was South African music. Then he comes to me, he's like, so Maphorisa, what do you think of the music? I'm like, so far you any music, because I'm busy, and stuff. And that's what was playing. I was blown away. Automatically, we put him on the list, and the rest is history. But when he passed away, it was a sad thing. Really, I was waiting for one more hit from Kelvin. That was me. I was waiting for one more hit. I thought he was going to hit it right and he was going to get it right. But, well, it's sad. COVID has made us become hustlers more than business people. We've altered our businesses. We've become, anything goes now. Where, at some point you used to be true to your game, but now you wake up in the morning looking for anything that can put food on the table. So that's what COVID has made us, not to rely on one source of income. Many revenue streams are important for a man. That's what COVID has taught us. And basically that's what it's shown. It has altered everything in business. In terms of events, entertainment, it really proved that you need other revenue streams other than that only. I think everything that's well done is significant. I don't know why it's being said that it's insignificant, but I think everything that's well done is significant. Makes you happy. It gives you a sense of belonging. Mothers need friends to keep company. As they grow older, they have a very few things that they'll be doing. They need friends to keep them occupied. Growth is noticing that you are no longer where you were before. Frequent apps is WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. That's more frequent. Well, on Facebook, I think I'm Mduduzi Mdlongwa. I use that one more. And then on Instagram, it's events.3D. And then if you would like to find us, I'm always at Hartsfield Chisanyama, which is my home of choice. I chose that place for myself. And I would like to thank Phir for the opportunity to come and chat about events and what we've been through in this entertainment industry. It's been fun, and I hope I will do it again when we are more of us that have done this. It will be more exciting.